Hello, I have another garden DIY for you. I've been rocking it out with my garden DIYs, getting stuff done. I actually woke up and got ready to go to yard sales, and then I looked outside and it's all rainy. Kind of like the storm has passed, but everything's wet. Not ideal yard selling weather. I don't even know if people will have set up their sales. So I was like, what else can I do to get something done in this time that I suddenly find myself with? So you saw in another video, I use this as a water feature on my deck. So I just fill it with water and I put a little solar fountain in it. Well, the other day I've had this for probably a year and a half. I found it at the bins. It was at my shop for about a year. Nobody ever bought it because you see, it was probably on some sort of stake, I think. And it says Mazatlan, 1997, Aaron, love mom and dad. So I'm guessing mom and dad got this for Aaron in 1997 as a souvenir of a trip. And so I was just randomly kind of fooling around with it. I was putting it in a flower pot, seeing if I could use it there. And I noticed he sits perfectly on the edge of this bowl. So I'm gonna make myself a beautiful little, even prettier water feature. No real birds come to my water feature. So it really is just a water feature. It's not a bird bath. And I just really enjoy the sound of the water. But he looks so pretty on there, it'll be an even prettier water feature. So if you wanted to make something like this, you just need a decor. Obviously, you're probably not gonna find this one, but you might be able to find a little bird figurine or something, and then a bowl that you can use as a vessel for your water, and then a solar fountain, which I'll show you. I've shown it to you in another video. It's a great solar fountain. I just bought it and it's been working wonders. Even this morning when I pulled this from outside, it's overcast and rainy, like I mentioned, and the fountain was still going, which is so cool. And it's solar powered, so it's not like it burns out or something. So anyway, so that's all you need, plus some silicone. This is the same silicone. Sorry, I goobered it out because I was making sure I could get it out this morning. This is the same silicone I used for my dish sculptures. If you haven't seen that video, I can put it here. So one of you had asked, is it caulk or adhesive? My understanding is it's kind of the same thing. I mean, this says strong adhesion. So this is both things. I don't know. I think some brands make a silicone that's just listed as an adhesive. I don't know, but this is what I've always used for my outdoor projects and it works great. Like I said, I have a bowling ball that I made. I covered it in the little flat glass pieces from 7 years ago and it's still going strong. I think 2 of them have popped off. So anyway, I highly recommend this stuff. I get it from Home Depot. It's GE brand. So all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my little bird and I am going to, like I did with the dish sculptures, I'm gonna put the silicone right on him so I make sure that I get it in the places where it makes contact, because most of him doesn't touch the bowl. So I wanna make sure I have silicone where I need it. So that's all I did, was just put a little silicone on him, and then I'm just gonna stick him down. Get him so he's sitting nice and firm. Oop, Penny sees something outside. Sorry about that. All right, so I've got him set there. I'm going to let this dry for 24 hours. It says 30 minutes to waterproof, but I always let my projects cure indoors 24 hours before I put them out in the heat and the sun and the weather. So I will let this cure and then I'll show you what it looks like filled with water and my little fountain. So it's gonna be cute. So here it is, it's well attached. I did actually wind up putting a little extra because I noticed that it could kind of contact right there, you see in the back. So now I'm gonna bring it outside and we'll fill it up. Kind of windy here in Minnesota this morning. And now, bet that needs to be cleaned out. Hold on. Oh, no, there it goes. It just needed to get the water flowing. There we go. I love this thing. Now I love it even more with my little bird on it. Super cute. Here it is the next morning. See, running in the shade. I love this thing. Isn't it cute? I like the addition of the bird. He looks like he's asking a question. Or about to ask a question. Okay, so you might wonder what all this is. These are coffee grounds, banana peels, and eggshells. I am working on making some homemade fertilizers for my garden. And I've read that banana peel and eggshell fertilizer is really good for tomatoes because the eggs provide calcium and the bananas provide potassium. Oopsie, we're getting fruit flies. That's why I got to get this done. So we've been saving banana peels, and I had a friend save their banana peels, and now I'm going to dry them out in the oven while I work today, and then I'll grind them up later so that I can spread the mixture on the garden. And they said it'll start to feed the plants this year, but it'll make the soil really good for the plants that I plant next year. So we're kind of looking ahead here too. So you set the oven on 170 to 200, so we have to bring this way down. Oh, we'll go to 185, sure, and then hit start, and we'll let it heat up. And in the meantime, we're gonna spread our banana peels on this cookie sheet. All right, I've got them pretty much ready to go, and you put them in there and let them dry out till they get dark and crispy, is what I read online. And then you take them out, let them cool down, and then you grind them up. Okay, here they are after 30 minutes. And you can see they're still kind of soft and squishy. So I'm gonna let them go a bit longer. I'll set it for another like 20 minutes. I mean, they are starting to get a little dry, some more than others. Maybe I'll turn the trays too in case the back of the oven is warmer than the front. Okay, here they are, all nice and crispy. If I did this again, I would definitely, if you notice when I first put them in, I put full peels in and then they were not drying, so I had to go back and like separate out the individual pieces of the peels. So next time I would do that first, but they're nice and crispy for the next step. It's time to pulverize. Okay, here's the scoop. What I've learned is these dots are a fungus, like I suspected. And basically, once it's in your garden on your strawberry plants, you can't get rid of it. And it's spread by rain, so really difficult to manage. So what I've decided, I'm just pulling out the strawberries. I didn't plant the strawberries. They came naturally. I don't know how they got here, if a bird, dropped a seed or something. But it's been strawberry patch for a while. I'm going to pull them out. I'm going to put tomatoes in and just give the soil a break. It's like crop rotation. So that is my plan. I'm going to take out the stuff I put in to protect from the birds. And these are my tomato plants that a friend gave me. They're doing great, but I do want to get them into the ground preferably. So that is the current plan. I'm going to pull the strawberries out first. You saw me make my banana and eggshell fertilizer, which I have there. And ideally you would put it in the hole with your tomatoes when you're planting them. But I didn't have it ready. And then some of my tomatoes were already in the ground. So I'm just going to put it around the soil. It should do a little bit for this year's plants, and it'll break down into the soil and be there for next year's plants as well. So that's what I'm going to do. So ideally I would have done this earlier in the season, but I just didn't have it ready. And the other thing, I did use my blender, but next time I'll use my food processor because I think I'd want the eggshells to get a little more powdery. They're not quite as small as I would want them to be, but that's fine. Again, not worried about it. Mostly this is going to, be for the future, but we'll see if maybe it gives the tomatoes a little boost this year. So I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle about a tablespoon around the base of every plant. And then the ones that aren't covered in straw yet, I'm going to cover those areas in straw, just like this area. And for these, I'm going to move the straw aside a little bit, put the fertilizer around the base, and then recover it with straw. Already, fertilizer is spread, straw is spread. There's nothing in that pot. Probably going to put a pepper plant in the garden. I don't think I'm going to put it in the pot. I think that pot is a little small for a pepper plant. but we'll see. And this is the current update. Also, I did switch out the mint. It kept wilting. Just wasn't into it. So I just planted up another colander with some more portulacas because those are extremely heat tolerant. These have been doing great. So that's what I did there. I think it's super cute on the rake. Also, that stick there, right here, that is a sunflower, which I had planted in the front yard and the bunnies ate it. I don't know if it'll grow new leaves or not, but I thought it had its best chance of surviving if I moved it. So that's what that is. Look, and I have a cucumber growing. The first one, yay. And I'm not sure if I featured this in another video, but this is a tomato that Maddie grew from a seed in a plastic baggie on a paper towel. So I'm very impressed with how it's doing. I just pulled those off because they're a little low. I don't want them touching the soil. But yeah, she grew that from a seed. So proud of her. Good job, Maddie. So I think I mentioned in a previous segment or previous vlog, I need to fertilize my potted plants. You're supposed to fertilize them every 2 weeks to keep them looking good. Haven't done that yet, but I'm gonna try this. It's a new product to me. Pour and feed plant food. It's ready to use and it's formulated specifically for potted plants. Sorry if my hands are dirty. And it gives you like the dimensions of the pot and then how much you should use. So for a pot that's 3 to 5 inches, you use a half to 1 capful. Shake well, apply directly to the soil around the plants. Best results applied directly to soil every 10 to 14 days. So we'll see if this works. I'm not using it in my veggie garden. I know there's a lot of people who are opposed to Miracle-Gro. Miracle-Gro has worked well for me in potted plants. In my veggie garden, I use actually things from the house, organic fertilizers. But for my flowers, I don't really care all that much. So I'm gonna give this a whirl and I'll let you know if I see a difference. This plant is the one I'm most concerned about because it's meant to be a hanging plant. Hanging plants don't generally have great soil, don't generally have water retention. So even if I have it here sitting, it's still planted as a hanging plant. So I know those you definitely have to fertilize. So it's about, I'm gonna say it's probably about an 8-inch pot. So that one needs 1 to 3. I'm gonna go with the 3 because I know that it's looking a little sad. We're planting a tree. It's a maple tree from over in our front yard. It's not very big, but we're moving it to the backyard, kind of in line with these maples for future generations. We're doing some tree trimming as well. She's laying in the tree branch. Show the roots. All right, this is not what we were expecting. We fully intended to dig out a big, nice root ball, but because it was growing on top of rocks, it developed this really shallow root system, which was basically growing on top of the rocks and into soil at various points. So we don't really know if it's even gonna take. We're gonna try though. Me carrying a tree. Okay, here's the tree. It's in a little bit of shock, but we're hopeful that it will take. Planted some hostas underneath it because I have hostas under those maples and they're doing really well. So we'll see. We'll keep you posted. Hannah has named the tree Phoebe. I don't know why, but that's the tree's name. So hopefully Phoebe will come back strong. And here is the current view from the deck. There's Phoebe. Gabe is playing with the dog inside. It's so sunny out on the deck in the evenings. That's why we have all our umbrellas. Anyway, I'm going to close out the vlog here. Thank you for watching. Please go ahead, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye.